Hello, Planets. Nice to see you. It is Sunday evening here in Sydney, Australia, 14th of June, 8:45 p.m. Wherever you are in the world. If you are joining me here live, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. If you are here live, say hello in the chat. I will say hello back. And of course, if you are watching this on replay, I know this is not my normal Plan With Me session. Some of you, a lot of you, my regular plannerettes, who come and see me on my Plan With Me, you're still probably in your 3 a.m., 4 a.m. However, when you do see this, hello, hope you've had a great week and ready for a new week. So today I'm going to set up my A5 bullet journal, Luxterm 1917 dotted journal for the week of June 15th to the 21st. So if you're ready, I am ready. Let's go, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set up my A5 Bujo bullet journal for the week of June 15th to the 21st. I'm going to be quite smart about it because I'm going to get inspiration from a weekly spread that I did back in February of 2018, and we're going to see if we can recreate it 8 years later. If you are watching me on Instagram, thank you so much for joining. I am also vertical and horizontal on YouTube. So if you do want the full desk view, it is the link in Instagram is right there. Hopefully it works. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube on the vertical and you are able to access your desktop or your TV, come and join me for the full desk view where most of the chat will happen. But do not be shy. Say hello in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go swing over to my desk, and I am in my A5 bullet journal. Like I said, I am using a Hobonichi cover. So I've just inserted the A5 Luxterm 1917 into the sleeve, into the pockets. So then that way I can have a nice little cover. So this cover here is just a plain black, and I have added the different stickers on it. And so that's just creates a nice little collage of different stickers. I also do have my January 2018 to June 2018 bullet journal. And let me show you what the weekly spread we are going to recreate today. So that's the weekly spread after the pen. And so hopefully we can do it justice for June of 2026. Also, if you are here with me in the live chat, let me know in the chat right now, what is your current planner system, what size, what brand, and then, or have you tried bullet journal before? Actually, I might have this open so then I can go and view it. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to be using fine liner pen. So this one is by handletteringdesign.com. So it was gifted to me by one of you lovely plannerettes. I'm going to keep it very simple and just use this zebra mild liner, and I'm going to use the fine tip N. And for writing, I will be using my Muji gel pen in 0.38. Okay, so let me just make some room. I'll actually put this aside right here and swing on by to my blank spread. Now, I have already penciled in the layout, so then that way I am not starting from blank today. And I will probably have some music in the background because some nice little lo-fi music there. So hello, if you are joining me right now, just doing a nice Plan With Me session. Let's pop some music while we are at it. Let's do this one. So hopefully it is not too loud in your ear. I've got my in-ear monitor right here. Now, hopefully I don't glitch because I am live streaming to 3 different areas. It may be putting a little bit of strain on my computer, but fingers crossed. Let me know if everything is good. Give me a thumbs up if you are here with me in the live chat. So first I'm going to use the 0.6, so this is a little bit thicker nib, so that's what I would like to use for the outlines. So that's 0.06, and then the 0.03 is a little bit finer. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so we can, oops, that's the wrong zoom button. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see. So like I said, I have already penciled in the outline. So what I might start with is doing the days of the week. And then that way, let me close some windows so hopefully it doesn't put too much strain. So for Monday to Friday, I'm going to have full columns, and then for the weekend I'm going to combine Saturday and Sunday in one because it's not enough space to have all of the days of the week. So let's start off first with doing the first 3 letters of the week, and I'm going to use sort of like a hand lettering, and I'm going to round off the corners. So I'm going to create a frame for each day, and just going to use nice hand drawn, no 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4, and I'm at the bottom here I'm going to create a little circle because that's where I am going to add the date. So each width column is 8 dot grid wide. And then I'm not taking the column right to the bottom because I'm going to add a section to add notes. So if and when I do need to write some random notes that don't fit specifically to any particular day, I can just have an area where I can write that down. So let me just go. So I'm just using the dot to guide me on exactly where I need to put my lines. So I'm just writing down the first 3 letters. Ooh, I'm already quite warm. I got to turn on my handheld fan. My hot flushes has been really acting up the last couple of weeks. I think I'm on the last leg of my perimenopause. So they say postmenopause is when you haven't had your period for a full 366 days, and I think July last year. What's the last time I had my cycle? So it's, yeah, so it's all the symptoms, all the wonderful symptoms of perimenopause is coming for a visit. All right, so we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you did want to go and do something similar for your bullet journal, like I said, it's 8 dot grid wide, and for the length, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. Okay, so if you also wanted to go and do this spread in your bullet journal, 8 by 20. So how's everybody's week? How did you have a good week? Was there any celebrations? Wednesday, Thursday. That's looking good. So the hand lettering at the top, just use your own hand lettering font. Where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a circle here. And a lot of it is just eyeballing. But yeah, a good tip is to pencil in first where you are needing to go and create your outlines, so then that way you are not making any mistakes. So this last column, I'm gonna have weekend because there's not enough space for 7 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a circle here, and then let's do this last a week and round out the corner and guide it down the side of the page. Looking good. All right, so let's just show you. Here we go. All right, so that's we've got 6 columns: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend. I'm going to take the finer nib felt tip pen, and then that's what I'm going to use to write the date at the bottom in those circles. So we have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 19, 20. Oh, okay, so this one I gotta go and write it really small, 20/21. Maybe I should have made that a little bit bigger. That's okay. Can we salvage it? Can we? I'm going to use this Whipper correction tape. So it's a cream one. I couldn't get the 2.5 millimeter width. I was too impatient and I got the narrower one, which means it takes a couple of layers for me to go and let's go do the thicker one. So let's go and make the circle a little bit bigger, and let's see if this will work. 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so let me just take it up to the camera closer. So 20, 21. All right, let's have a look. So that's what we've got, and then that looks nice. So because I created earlier in my brain dump in the membership my running to-do list. So this is the running to-do list. Okay, and I have it in this sort of like moss green. So I'm going to continue that color way this here, and I'm going to use this as a drop shadow on each of my boxes. So I'm going to have the drop shadow on the bottom and right hand of each box. So just using the fine tip end of the zebra mild liner. And then what this does, it's very subtle drop shadow, but it sort of helps lift these frames, make them look like they're popping off the page. So if you just wanted some subtle coloring in your weekly spread, just pick yourself a muted color. Normally I would use a gray marker, but you know what? Let's have some nice green drop shadow. So if you're here live with me, say hello in the chat, or let me know you're here by hitting that thumbs up button. So I normally go live on my plan with me, my Monday 5 a.m. but for the month of June I've given myself a little rest. So not so much not posting, but not doing my normal scheduling. Hello there, Irene. Nice to see you. Um, Hi everyone. Whoops. Hi everyone. Sound is good. Oop, what happened here? Let me just let's put a background color. There we go. Sound is good. Sounds is good. Excellent. I love that. Thank you for that so much for letting me know. Sometimes I know the volume may not be maybe too loud or too soft because I've got my in-ear. So there we go. So that is the days of the week so far, looking good. I'll add later all the different tasks or known tasks and to-do list. But the next thing I want to do is I want to go and do the date, what do you call it? The date range. Okay, so we've got, again, I'm using the 0.6. So just doing some hand lettering. I think they call it's not really bouncy or flourishing, but I'm making some letters higher or lower than the other, and then I'm going to put here 15 to the 21st. Okay, so I know exactly when this particular date range. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to go and write the date, sorry, the calendar. What I might do, so I'm going to highlight this week's here. So I'll highlight before the putting the pen, and then I'm just going to put, so June, and it is week 25, and then I'm just going to create a little line for the days of the week. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then let's write the dates. 3, 4. So I always have to make sure I say the numbers out loud, or else I'll write it wrong. But past me just penciled it all in, so I can just trace over the dates. But I have been known to, while talking and writing, write down the wrong dates or skip a date. So that's why pencil is your friend. 28, 29, and 30. So 30 days in June. So here we go. Okay, June. And once that's dried, I'll go take the penciling. Now, instead of creating or using a washi tape, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a border myself. So again, I'm going to take the green and just create little circles at the top and create myself a nice little border. And I'll show you in a sec how I can make that stand out. So just little dots. Follow if you're using a dot grid or a line grid, just follow the dots as your guide. So this will help frame the page. So then it just has a nice finish when you create either frames or borders, or of course you can use your washi tape. Now, do I want to go and use the thicker line or the thinner line? Let's use the thicker line. Let's be bold. Okay, so I'm just going to create the lines in between the dots. Let me show you a little bit closer. So I'll just do one section. I'll continue it after, because I don't want you to just watch me doing lines and outlining the circles. Okay, and then with the finer tip, just outline those circles. So yeah, this just creates a different border for your weekly spread, and then help balance out that green or whatever colorway that you are using. So I'll make it a little bit closer. Let me just join that up so then it looks a little bit finer or refined. So it just looks like little chains, little balls of chains. So let me make it closer. So see, so then that way when the whole page is full, it looks nice. So I'll continue that also at the bottom right here. Now I have penciled in just a little flora outline with some leaves. There's the option of 9F, 2 small boxes for the weekend as well. Is that a typo? Irene, 9F, 2 small boxes. Oh yeah, I've done that. But I wanted to create a cohesive line. So yeah, so here, let me see. I think I did it here. So similar for a previous week, Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, you've got options that you can do, but yeah, I wanted to have a cohesive, balanced layout. So of course you can create whatever. So the 2018, February 2018 spread that I got inspired from, there you go, see, Saturday, Sunday. But I just wanted it all something different, you know. You just get you have those options as well. So this is what the floral outline will look like once I've finished with the thicker pen. So let's go with the 0.6. Again, just keeping it simple. You don't have to have full color all the time. You can just have, you know, line drawings. So the middle is sort of like a rose. So I'm going to try and see if I can draw in between that the spine and just continue that. So I'm just creating petals. Again, it does not have to be precise, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly what. And then I might color in the middle just so then we know the inside petals are darker, because I am just going to be using black lines. We want the inside of that flower to look like it's darker, and then it's just a matter of outlining the leaves that I have created or penciled in. Okay, let's have a look. And so, and I've just added whatever these little I guess, what would I call that, the bulbs. You know how before flowers go and bloom or open up, so then those little black little bulbs again will just balance out your line drawing. So then there's the, you know, different lines and then thickness. So if you're unsure of what to draw, you know, Pinterest is your friend. Just put line drawing and then whatever theme it is that you want. So this one, it's just flowers. But then if you want stationery, doodling, Pinterest is your friend. Here, I don't know what flower this is, but again, providing that contrast in your line drawing with some the dark lines and thicker lines. Looking good. And then on the other side, So yeah, you don't always have to make it symmetrical. You can, and the great thing by not having it symmetrical is you don't have to have them matching. And so, but just maybe when you are doing your line drawings, just have it balanced. So then that way, you know, one side isn't too line heavy. And again, just creating. Hi everybody on Instagram. I can see your names popping up. If you're new here, let me know. I'm Marianne. And on both Instagram and on YouTube, I share my planner setup. So then that way, Shania, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Hello all. How has your week been? Hope you've been looking after yourself and taking some breaks. I appreciate you being here. And Irene, welcoming you as well. There we go. All right. So let's go back to the drawing. And now you don't have to have a bullet journal to add little drawings or doodles. So whether you have already dated planner or undated, find a little spot in your planner where you can do some drawing. Or if you're, I know in the past I used to say I'm not creatively or artistic. That's where your stickers come in. All right, so then we've got that. That's looking quite good. I'm quite happy with that one so far. That's looking nice. All right, at the bottom I have left some space, so I want to write down notes. So if any things do pop up in the week that aren't date or day specific, I'm going to, there's an area I can add those notes, or on this one I can add next week. So if I have to go and write things for next week and I haven't yet set up my weekly spread, I can use that to note things down. Now I think this has dried now, so I'm going to go and erase my pencil marking. So then that way it's nice and neat. Just do make sure if you are erasing that you've allowed for the ink to dry, because I have been impatient sometimes and I will erase before it's dried, and then of course it smudges. And I'll be mindful not to erase that because I did use correction tape over it. And so because correction tape, has that glossy finish, sometimes the ink that you use to write on may not be dried yet. Let's add a little bit of color here by just putting a nice drop shadow there. There's another area I can go and erase. Okay, so what I might do is I might go and continue. What's that noise? Continue. So Shania says, last night I picked up my new, okay. Last night I picked up my new A5. I kept putting it down. Thank you. I can try this in it. Yay! See, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help inspire, because sometimes, you can get stuck sometimes and you go, what can I do in my planner? And then until someone pops up in your feed or your reel or your YouTube subscriptions, that's why I'm here. I'm so happy that, yeah, hopefully, yeah, you know, if you can't do all of the things that I'm doing here, you can just add little elements, you know, bits and pieces. So like I said, this one is just a nice little border to create at the top of the page with the little circle that helps, you know, continue the little bulbs, flower, you know, the flower bulbs. And then let's do it for the bottom as well. So I'm using a finer tip for the little circles. By creating different thickness on your spread, yeah, it doesn't seem all just like one, you know, one thickness, or it's not all just flat. So the different thickness pens, yeah, give it that little bit of dimension and just, yeah, variety. Variety is the spice of life, yeah. And then let's do this one here. Let's put the lid on, Marianne, because I have my handheld fan right here. Cool my hot flushes. And I don't want the pens drying, because I have done that where I've forgotten to put the lid on. And then suddenly your ink is all dried up. Okay. And let's get the thicker one. There we go. Create some border. Boop, boop, boop. And now I'm going to use my little stencil, and so I might use the glass stencil. This would be for my maybe I'll make it go across for my water intake. Speaking of water, make sure you are drinking. So I know for those of us in Australia, it is now our Sunday evening. And I know, I think, is it the Eastern? Is it your 6 or 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? You're just getting up, and some of you might still be asleep when I go live. And I hope to see you on the replay, so make sure you say hello in the comment section if you are watching this on replay. So then just little glass icon to help remind me to drink water. Because I can go a day with only like drinking a glass of water, and then I wonder why I get bad migraines. Okay, so just doing my little water tracker. So do that every day. So if there is a habit that you are trying to build or want to be more consistent with, a little tip is, you know, creating trackers daily. Now, yes, it may take you some time to go and, you know, draw little boxes or little circles, but it will be a nice reminder each day until you start building the habit. Okay, so this last column here, it is for both days, so I'll create 2 habit trackers. Where's my fan? Whew, my fan, I had to go. Hopefully that's not too noisy. Maybe I'll just do one and have it. Oh, did I turn it off? So these little handheld fans have been great, because also I do have 2 light boxes to light me and my desk, and they can get a little bit hot. But yeah, the hot flushes, she's a flaring. So like I'll be like waking up, you know, with the the in-between boob sweat, and like my t-shirt will be like soaked. All right, let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, let's quickly have a look at the spread. Thank you for the like. I appreciate you. Hello, YouTubers. Nice to see you. Some of you are probably just waking up. Yeah, so I thought I'd set this up, you know, because I am taking the break from my Monday 5 a.m. live stream, although I am still up that early, but normally I would have to get up early, you know, at 4 a.m. to go and get ready for a 5 a.m. start. So in June, I am taking a break from that. But I actually feel like I haven't, you know, showing up, you know, from not so much whenever I feel like it, but just has created that spark again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check out the weather for the new week, and that way it'll help us plan. So for those of you that are new here, my youngest son, 17 years old, we homeschool him. He's on the autism spectrum, and he has sensory processing and needs. And so when it's raining or there's, you know, a thunderstorm, it can play havoc with his sensory processing, and you know, he can have challenging times. By knowing the weather, so not just for that, but also, you know, my other son, because I of course work from home and my husband does the homeschooling full time, but you know, knowing the weather will help you plan better. So especially if you are work outside of the home and you need to commute. Oh, did I go ahead of, I think I already, I looked at, this is the following week's weather. So let me see if I can go and correct it, because it ain't raining tomorrow, it's just cloudy. I went too advanced with my weather check. So let me just retrace this one. So tomorrow is cloudy, 18 to 14 degrees. Tuesday, it is partly cloudy. So I'm going, just I'm using the little cloud icon. So I just made this. I made this. This is from, this is a document envelope, I think from Muji. So I just went to have a look to see if there's any plastic that is flexible but durable enough. So then when my, I think this, my Cricut machine, cutting machine, I use that. And I just created the template. So I use the cloud. So then that way they're a little bit more uniform. So Tuesday's 12 to 21. And then Wednesday is another cloudy day. So yeah, so knowing the weather will just help you plan better. So of course, like I said, if you do work outside of the home or you commute 12 to 21, then knowing what the weather will be, you can plan a little bit better ahead of time. So if you have to, you know, bring an umbrella. Also, if you're driving, right, when it's raining, somehow all the frustration, people's frustration, 13 to 21, come out, and more more road rage. And so you might want to go, okay, breathe, and be a little bit more patient. So, and not lose it if people are, suddenly lose the ability to drive properly in the rain. Friday 16 to 20. And then Saturday is a partly cloudy. Yeah, so knowing the weather, we can plan ahead. So, or we will know with our young son, because sometimes we think, oh, okay, he's fine, but he might be having a hard time processing his sensory, because if it's thunderstorm, also the feel in the air is different when it's raining. He actually knows when the rain is coming. Like, it'll be very sunny day, and then suddenly what do you call it? Suddenly he will go, oh, quick, let's go back inside. It's going to rain. And be like, it's a beautiful sunny day. And then 2 minutes later, big storm cloud comes. So, he's a little, he gets to, he knows the rain a little bit. Let's have a look. Shania says, love days across the middle. In my last journal, it was a week on a page too small. Yeah, so the great thing with the bullet journal is, being able to create your own layout. I just got into loose leaf teas, 1884, and Jen Maker and matcha. Love a lemon green. I love that. Mindfulness doing layout. Yes. So taking this time to just, plan out your pages. It does take a little bit longer to create your own, a weekly spread or plan a spread from scratch. But this is my mindfulness moment. This is me slowing down. So whether before the new week starts or the new week ends. Good morning, Sheila. Nice to see you. I just woke up and saw you live. Yes, normally you're going to sleep before when I do go live. Yes, so I thought I'd set up my weekly spread way before tomorrow, so then I might have a nice little sleep in, because my sleeping patterns have been all over the place. The other thing then that I'm going to put on here, I will look at my June calendar and then have a look at all the known events, the bills, what's happening, and I will write them all down at the top. So then it reminds me, when that day arrives, that maybe I'll have a meeting, maybe there's a bill that's coming out of our debit account. So make sure that there's money in there. But that pretty much, I don't know, do I want to add green? No, look, if I wanted later, if I'm bored, I might want to color the leaves green, but we're going to leave it as is. And then that way, gives me a little bit of time to go, or creativity if I wanted to color that in. So for those of you new to my channel, let me just quickly, at the last week of May, I started my A5 bullet journaling. I've been in ring planners, personal size, A5 size. I've dabbled in Happy Planner Classic. I've dabbled in Hobonichi. I've dabbled in Traveler's Notebook. And my key thing is make sure your planner system fits your lifestyle, fits the way your brain works, and fits the current season you're in. If you are finding yourself stuck in a planning rut, it may be because the current setup that you have is not fitting in with the capacity, the energy, and the season, not just weather season, but whether you're busy or you're a little bit quieter. So if you're having a quiet month, but your page may be a letter size where it's huge and it's got lots of space and you feel pressure to, fill it in. Or the other way is if you have a smaller planner and you've got lots of things you need to write down, it may not fit. So don't try and fit your life into the planner make sure your planner works for you. So you are the boss of your planner. So if you're finding that you haven't opened your planner in a long time because you're feeling bad that there's lots of empty spaces, or you're feeling bad that there's not enough spaces, find the system that works. Hence, I pretty much have a hybrid planning system, because I do change my system all the time, because then I get bored, so we need a variety, and so important that it works for you. So let me show you do a nice flip through of my June bullet journal pages. So we have the cover page, the calendar, habit tracker, and 1 line a day gratitude log. My little tracker, my time tracker. So there's a couple of days there that I've missed, but that's okay. I'll start to see pattern. So as you can see, for this, yellow is my sleep, and at the moment there's no real pattern, and I know that. That's why I am tracking what I'm doing with each hour of the day. I'm using these very long striped socks or stockings to note down my mood. I have a little color code at the bottom. So far for June, it's been a good month. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, well, I was a little bit down. Again, it's probably my perimenopause and the changes in my hormones. So that's a nice little visual, something different for mood tracking. My tracker to 15,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And with that in mind, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do, because I think it's 14,588. The subs have slowed down a bit, only because I'm not doing my regular Monday, some of your Sunday live stream. So popping in and out at weird times can cause havoc with my regulars. But if you haven't yet subscribed, I think last time I checked, 60% of those that have watched any of my videos have not yet subscribed. So I would love for you to help me color these little stepping stones to get to 15K by the end of June. A long way to go, but with the my current time off schedule, that is to be what's the word, brain fog, whatever the word is. Okay, running to-do list. So this was my running to-do list for 1st of June to the 7th. So on my YouTube channel, I have a playlist called Start Here, and one of the videos shows you exactly how I use a running to-do list. Now, of course, if you don't have a bullet journal and you don't want to be writing this from scratch, I do have a running to-do list printable download that you can get at my shop at maryanncrest.com. And then that's already all lined up, and you just got to put the date and just put in the tasks that you need to do for the week only. Everything else that don't fit into that current week, you can look at it later down the track on the following week. This was Monday the 1st to Sunday the 7th spread. Okay, and then I have my master cleaning and declutter list. So then that way, all the things that I need to do and declutter, I have it here, and I can just go through it each week and go, all right, which of these can I tackle this week? Because it was just getting too much. I'm doing my June expense tracker. I need to update it. The last time I updated it was 3rd of June. So the reason why we're tracking our expense tracker is to know exactly where our money's going, and to make sure the main budget categories like like grocery, that we are budgeting enough for the groceries, because we haven't really changed the grocery budget for a couple of years, and we have 2 young men, 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, and I do love my snacks, and so I need to make sure that the grocery budget is aligned with the food that we need. So I've created some blank pages so I can continue that. Here's the running to-do list for June 8th to the 14th. A lot of this I haven't done because this week I've been concentrating on my other YouTube channel, Marianne on YouTube, where I talk about things for those content creators that want to go live and be consistent showing up online. So a lot of the stuff that's on my running to-do list, I haven't actioned. I'm okay with that because something else took a priority. When you start to plan like this, you are going to go and start being kinder to yourself when you start saying, what matters to me right now? If rest matters more than your to-do list because you're being burnt out, you're stressed, then it doesn't matter if your planner pages is blank or you haven't completed or your to-do list is because you took the whatever priority it is, the top priority mattered more. So if you are one of those people, and I used to be that, and I still am sometimes, I will look at my planner pages and go, oh, there's so many blank spaces, or I didn't complete everything on my to-do list. Oh, I feel bad, I'm falling behind. I'm not using my planner. I've spent all that money, and then you get sad, you get upset. But as you start to look at what matters the most to you, is there any consequences that happens if you don't complete everything on your list? If nothing falls or breaks or there's no fire, right, then it's okay that your planner or your to-do list is not always complete. And because you can't plan for everything. You might, beginning of the week, you might have had lots of energy, so you plan lots for the rest of the week, and then Wednesday you fall sick or something happened that just depletes your energy and depletes your capacity. So we're not here to try and complete our task and to-do list. We're here to prioritize what matter most in the day. Shania says, I learned about the running to-do list from you. I am loving it. Yes, so it is based on the Alistair method, where you pretty much write down all the tasks and to-dos, appointments, bills, events for the week only on one page. And you want to make sure that you are not trying to fill that one page with lots and lots of stuff, because you cannot anticipate for anything, emergencies that come up later on in the week, or you might think something would only take half an hour when it actually takes 3 hours. So you've got to allow for some breathing space. The other thing that I have started doing is, because of course on my new channel, Marianne on YouTube, I'm starting to create new content of just taking each day with whatever tasks that I need to do. So I don't need to create a specific boxed in layout. I'll just add as I go, and then I just use my Tombow Fudenosuke brush tip markers. So you've got one in black barrel, in blue barrel. I think this is the softer brush tip, this is a harder brush tip, and I've just gone and created those frames, and then use my Uniball Signo white gel pen to write the white text on it. Okay. Shonya says, gave me less shame and guilt. Yes, so the running to-do list gave me less shame, suffered bad due to CPTSD. The list helped remove it. And yes, and it also comes with time. If you've spent a lot of years feeling bad that you don't get to do everything or on your to-do list, it will take time, it'll take kindness, it'll take grace, and you need to give yourself permission to not. Your running to-do list or your to-do list will always be never ending. So you'll never actually be 100% with it. So already know ahead of time that I'm not going to complete everything. Why? Because something else will take priority later down the track that I cannot anticipate. So here's my running to-do list for today, Sunday the 14th to Saturday the 20th. I've already completed quite a few stuff. I'm very proud of myself. So when the iron strikes, when the iron's hot, what's the term? I don't know, whatever the term, try and do as much as you can when you have lots of capacity. And here we are for this week's new weekly bullet journal spread for the week of June the 15th to the 21st. And I'm quite happy with that little layout. And the beauty about the bullet journaling is you can change your weekly spread week to week, or you can keep it the same all the time if you want. But knowing the way my brain works, I get bored easily. And so being able to change things. And this was inspired by my February 2018 bullet journal spread. So this is what it would look like after the pen. And then, so that's what the inspiration was by shopping. So if you have previous planner pages and you do set it up, shop your old planner spread. That helps remove the decision making and having you start from scratch again. Okay, so now I see, hi Shika, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Why is my I can't, the Instagram comments is not showing up. Probably something with my setting. But Shika, I see your comment there. Running to-do list is working for my routine too. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so happy. Oh, appreciate that a lot. So let me put that big on there. Let me see. Oh, I'm so glad. I really love it because I know how it feels when other planners inspire me and you get that great aha moment. So I really love that Shika, Shania, that you guys have, discovered the running to-do list. Of course, it's based on the Alistair method, but this is the beauty of the planner community. Now, if you are not even ready to start planning the new week because your mind is cluttered, for those of you that haven't yet downloaded my free brain dump guide, there's the QR code there. It's a freebie. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So I have printed it on an A5 little notebook myself. So in the brain dump guide, the free download, you'll get the brain dump guide with all the steps that I go through to clear and declutter my head, help organize it for things to do today, tomorrow, and the week. And then that's all you focus on when you're looking at your running to-do list. In that, you'll have a brain dump trigger list to help, get those things out of your head. If you go, what else is in my head that may not be popping up? There's a brain dump guide trigger list, and then also a grid. So you can't see it on there, but it is a grid line. My printer is, the ink that I use is not the brand ink, so it's not as dark. But yeah, brain dump guide. And so that's how I do my brain dump. I make it colorful, it doesn't start out with that, but write it down and then we categorize. And I've crossed all these out either because I've completed it or I've migrated it to my, to my planner pages. And if you want to know how to use the brain dump guide or how to do a brain dump and categorize it, again, in my Start Here playlist on my YouTube channel at Marianne Crest, there is the brain dump to plan video. I think it's about just less than 7 minutes, but we also do weekly brain dump session in the membership. So every week, so my Sunday For the US, it is your Saturday afternoon or evening. It's not so much that, it should knowing how to brain dump, but it's that accountability for yourself to know each and every week that you have an opportunity to just slow down, reset for the week before a new week begins. So before all the clutter. All right. So let me quickly go back to my desk and show you what we have completed today. I'm now going to move my little bookmark, and that's this week. And then I just need to finalize all the tasks and to do for this week. Check everything later on, maybe Monday afternoon, to make sure that I haven't missed out any tasks that I need to complete for the new week. This is current week. This is new week. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. If you haven't yet watched the brain dump guide, it's there, or I'll have it here. Thank you, everybody. Have a good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Bye. Bye-bye.